I made a hire last year that almost took the company down. On paper, they were perfect. Right background, right titles came recommended. 3 months in, it was clear they were wrong for the role. 6 months in, I had to let them go and rebuild a team that had been quietly destabilized in the meantime. The whole thing cost me about 4 months of momentum and maybe $40,000 in real money. What I learned from that mistake and what I have built into every hire since is a 3-step AI system that catches the things your gut and your interview questions are going to miss. I want to walk you through it. Here is the trap. You read the resume, you do the call, you like the person, you hire them. The whole pipeline is designed around your impression of the candidate, and your impression is the least reliable signal in the entire process. Confirmation bias is real. Halo effect is real. The candidate who is good at interviewing is not the same as the candidate who is good at the job. By 2026, around 70% of businesses use AI somewhere in hiring. Most of them use it to screen resumes faster. That is the boring application. The one that actually changes outcomes, using AI to challenge your own thinking before you make the offer, almost nobody is doing. So here is the system. 3 steps, about 20 minutes per finalist. I run this on every candidate who reaches the top 3. Step 1 happens before you even look at a single resume. Most managers skip this, and that is why every hire feels like guesswork. Open Claude or ChatGPT and use this prompt. I am hiring for role. Help me build a scorecard for what success looks like in the first 90 days, the first 6 months, and the first 12 months. For each time frame, list the 3 most important outcomes the person needs to deliver and the 3 behaviors or skills that will produce those outcomes. Be specific. Use verbs. What comes back is a structured definition of the role, not the marketing language job description, the actual scorecard. You will read it and immediately notice things you would not have screened for. Maybe the role needs someone who can build trust with finance. Maybe it needs someone who is comfortable saying no to the CEO. The scorecard surfaces those. You only score candidates against this scorecard from now on. Every interview question, every reference call, every gut reaction gets filtered through it. If a candidate is great but does not match the scorecard, they are great for some other job, not this one. Step 2 is where you get sharper questions than you would write on your own. After you have read a resume and done one call, paste the resume and your notes from the call into the AI and use this prompt. Here is a candidate for role. Here is the scorecard from before. Based on what is and is not in the resume, write me 5 questions for the next interview that will surface where this candidate might fail in this role. Do not be polite. Probe the gaps. What you get is a set of questions that go after the parts of the resume nobody talks about. The 2-year gap they explained vaguely. The fact that they have always been at the same size of company. The fact that they have managed teams, but never built one from scratch. These are not gotcha questions. They are the questions a really good board director would ask if they were sitting in your interview chair. Most managers never ask them because we do not want to make the candidate uncomfortable. The AI does not have that problem. Step 3 is the last gate before you say yes. After all the interviews and references before the offer letter goes out, run this prompt. Here is the scorecard. Here is what I have learned about candidate A. Imagine it is 6 months from now and this hire has not worked out. Based on what we know, what are the 3 most likely reasons it failed? Which one am I most likely underestimating right now? This is the pre-mortem, borrowed from decision researcher Gary Klein. By the time you are about to make an offer, you are emotionally invested. You want it to work. You will explain away red flags you would have caught in week 1. The AI will name the failure mode you are minimizing. Sometimes you read it and you go ahead anyway with eyes open. Sometimes you read it and you realize you were about to make the same mistake I made last year. So the full system. Build the scorecard before you screen, run adversarial prep before you meet again, run a pre-mortem before you offer, 20 minutes per finalist. I run it on every senior hire. Let me say what this is not. The AI is not picking the candidate. The AI is not reading body language. The AI is not making the call. You are. What the AI is doing is making sure you are not lying to yourself. That is the most expensive thing a hiring manager can do, and the easiest thing for an outside system to catch. Use it. AI handles the structure. You bring the judgment. The teams that win in 2026 are not the ones using the most AI hiring tools. They are the ones who have built systems that make every hire a sharper decision than the last one. This is one of those systems. The exact prompts I used in this video are in the free AI Starter Toolkit at befluentai.com. Download it. Run this system on your next finalist. See what 20 minutes of structured rigor does to your hiring decisions. If this was useful, like the video and subscribe. I put a new system out every week. and grab the free toolkit at befluentai.com while you are there. See you in the next one.